Mhm.
So while we're waiting for attendees to join, this is Aaron Price, New Jersey Tech Council with Pearl Gable, who runs NJGov, officially the digital director of,
The
tell me,
New
there
Jersey
were a lot
governor.
of NJ entities you just mentioned. What's your official title?
Digital director of the New Jersey governor's office.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
While we wait for other attendees to join, what is your favorite, what social media account should everyone else follow while we're waiting?
So everybody should follow NJGov. This is
another one.
Oh, other ones?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not gonna. Well, everybody should follow Gov Murphy.
Okay, what non-government related social media account for people who are looking for social media inspiration does Pearl think they should follow?
Oh man, I mean, there's some really good ones out there. This is gonna sound very corny, I think, but I love the way Ariana Grande interacts with her fans.
All right, there we go.
Personal, like just very like a few words and just like, I think she's great on social. I take some cues from her. I mean, for brand accounts, PA Treasury was one of like my guiding stars. And I've told them that PA Treasury is like a government account of the PA Treasury, and they're really like political and really funny. And that was like the first government account that I saw that was like really going outside the box like that.
Well, so we've got enough people on. I want to get started. For those of you listening in or watching, welcome. This is our lunch and learn, our virtual lunch and learn series with Pearl Gable, who runs NJGov. If you have questions, you should be able to write them in. And after we do a little discussion with Pearl, we're going to look at your questions and address them. So feel free to send questions our way. Mm-hmm. So let's get started with, how did you end up in the seat of running the Twitter account or social media accounts for the state?
I think like a lot of like multimedia or digital people, it's been a really winding road. I went from like studying journalism and like long form writing to working in journalism, to becoming a photojournalist, then working in multimedia, like video journalism, then becoming the director of video for the New York City governor's office, just as they were trying to like really launch a bigger program. And then coming here. So it was kind of an evolution. And now being digital director means not only doing the video, overseeing sort of video, photo, multimedia, but also overseeing the strategy and the accounts and the sites and everything like that.
Yeah.
So it's been an evolution.
And so when you walked in there, January 2018, I think people would assume you had a social media head start.
Yeah, you would imagine.
One would imagine.
I mean, like, this is everybody on this call, on this webinar is like Jersey folk here. I think Jersey folk, you all know that New Jersey government has not been known for its digital. In fact, we're kind of behind the times in that. So when I came in, Chris Christie the former governor had taken his Twitter account and his Facebook account, which was built by the state. But so there was no infrastructure for a governor or a first lady, and there had never been a New Jersey, any New Jersey social accounts. So it was coming in from zero and starting from zero, starting from scratch on all fronts.
And so, obviously the Twitter account's gotten a lot of attention. It's now, as of this moment, 213,200 plus followers. Mm-hmm. With you only following 595, which I know is going to change to at least 596 after we're done. So when you follow the council,
it's been done.
Oh, good. I haven't refreshed the page. We appreciate that. Which is a massive increase in reach, obviously. And so, to what do you attribute this success?
I attribute the success to like embodying the brand, which happens to be Jersey, which happened to be like an easy embodiment since I am of New Jersey. I was raised in New Jersey. So this personality was something that like I was familiar with. And then Megan, who's the digital assistant here, when she came in June, and we really started talking and brainstorming about this, and that's when we sort of birthed this concept of just being Jersey. which took, I think, from the beginning to build up the trust to have autonomy on that account, and sort of that's how we did it. So
one of the things we're doing here at the council now is thinking about, you know, reimagining our brand values and our mission and our voice. And we have a lot of documents and whiteboarding things. I'm wondering, and guessing you didn't, but I'm wondering, did you go through an exercise to think about what is the voice of the state and how were you gonna manage this account, or did you just kind of run with it?
Man, I mean, I think if there's any exercise, it was just like going deep within myself and pulling out that Jersey girl thing. There was no whiteboarding. There was no planning. There was no pre-planned posts. There was nothing. It was really just kind of taking it. I mean, I'm from like an artistic background, right? I've always just loved the idea of like spontaneous and emotional expression. And it's been kind of like a little bit of an art form in that allowing that spontaneous eruption of expression to come out, and the eruption of the embodiment of Jersey.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is interesting, right? Because, you know, a government entity is usually a formal brand. And so if we have people watching from like a Verizon kind of a corporation and they're thinking about, well, should we try this? What would you tell those people? And well, let's talk about what this is first. I skipped the question, which is, can you share some of the, you know, I would describe the tweet as, or the content as, you know, using a lot of humor. There's some snarkiness to it. There's a little bit of an edge. Would you agree with that characterization?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's honest to the self. And I think it's also kind of acknowledging your own flaws.
Yeah.
And kind of acknowledging your own negativity. Like, we are the armpit of America. Okay, so what? Armpits are great. What else? Now we got
what else you got?
There's like a dirty part, I mean, a part of the turnpike, maybe that smells. Maybe. Okay, fine, we got that. Okay, we also got like these beautiful forests, like whatever, like we own that.
Yeah.
So let's say like a company like Verizon, I mean, I think owning every part of itself. I mean, Verizon is kind of like the most expensive carrier, right now. I think I have Verizon. But
among them.
Among them. I mean, it's funny to make fun. I mean, you know, like
also a New Jersey company, so you know, just FYI.
Exactly. Is this thing on? Like making fun of like a call drop? I don't know. I mean, it's kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, just from initial thoughts, it's kind of like that concept of just embodying what that brand is. I mean, you know, you've seen Wendy's do it. You see you see Steakums do it. You see brands trying to really take that, and they're doing it. Actually, Applegate is a New Jersey brand, and they're pretty dope on Twitter too.
Yeah, that's one we should follow.
Yeah.
How do you talked about, you think it started with the foundation of trust. Yeah. How does a brand create a foundation of trust? So,
yeah, I mean, it comes down to the creative people, the creatives behind it, right? So it's really creatives up and creatives empowerment. I mean, digital is like the lowest on the totem pole, especially in a government organization. But it's coming in and like showing, not telling, but showing what digital can do.
Yeah.
And it starts off, the first year was like just building all these brands, starting the governor's account, starting NJGov, starting to work with the agencies, starting to work on the websites, and just building and building and building until you have like this level of trust where at the very least for NJGov, I can be the last line of approvals on it, right? So that was that slow building of trust for that.
And do you mean trust with the followers or trust with the organization?
Sorry, trust with the organization. So like I have, you know, I mean, I'm digital director, but I still have, you know, my communications director, who's great, Mahan Gunarana, the chief of staff, and the governor all have to approve. And they're all, you know, they all are having fun and they're all on board with this now, you know?
Now, were they in the beginning?
Well, no, I mean, I think I for instance, when turning that account really insane, I mean, that was, you know, I had some autonomy, and so we just did it.
Yeah.
And showed it working. I thought maybe for a second, maybe I was going to get fired. You know what I mean? I don't know
How
what's
many
going to happen.
how many times have you posted something that someone more senior said that's got to go?
There's only been like 1 or 2 times that's happened. It's very rare because like the administration is cool. Like, I mean, it's Murphy's, like, the whole thing is like transparency. He started the Office of Innovation, which is led by Beth Novick here, to kind of bring transparency and openness to digital. Like the whole philosophy is openness. So now it's like, all right, let's show you how we really can do this. You know, it's a journey, because this is an old, antiquated government system. It's, you know what I mean? It's not creatives. It's not historically been creatives up. It's historically been, as a lot of people who might know, who are a creative or a producer or something like that, you feel pushed down. But
Yeah.
it's a new wave now. I'm optimistic.
And it sounds like you're saying you feel like this organization empowers you to be yourself, represent the state, take some risks.
Yes.
Maybe make mistakes.
Yes. And it's been a matter of show, not to show it happen. And it doesn't happen overnight. It's had to be built. It has to be built.
Well, we have to talk about your mom tweet.
Let's talk about it.
What I'm assuming you did not ask for approval. I think I know already you didn't ask for approval.
No.
You've talked about that publicly.
That might be the line. Yeah, so you can see I'm in a cubicle right here, and Megan was in the cubicle next to me. And we kind of saw that pop up on the screen at the same time. And this is when we were really starting to like push. This was like a month into like our kind of new wave, like that we were going to do this. And, you know, I mean, let me just put it this way. It's a very small part of what we do on a daily basis. NJGov is like, 5% of what we do, if that. So we see this tweet come over that says, who let New Jersey have a Twitter? And we both kind of gasp at the same time because our windows are open. And I said to Megan, I wish we could say your mom. But I was overthinking it. I was like, I want to say your mom, but like, what if something happened to his mom? Like, what if we say it and it's like an asshole thing to say? And then Megan just yelled back. She was like, it's a figure of speech, which was like kind of like the validation that I needed to hear, that she needed. So then it was, it was a 30-second thing, and then we posted it, and that went crazy.
What was the most surprising reaction from that post?
How much the governor loved it. I mean, I thought that was it. I thought we were going to just be totally screwed or something. You know what I mean? Like something was going to happen. NJ.com was going to write a hit piece. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who's behind this account? Like, we're still waiting for the hit pieces to come out. We had one from like a couple. Oh, we've had one website hit piece. But anyway, yeah. I mean, he was really excited about it. And every time we saw him for like the next couple of weeks, he'd be like, "Your mom," and it was awesome. You know what I mean?
Do you not have like a baseball cap or some item that has your mom or this? You must have something that commemorizes this post. I need to. One of our followers made T-shirts. That's awesome.
He's selling them online. Yeah. So I've yet to buy one, but I was thinking about buying one.
He's probably an entrepreneurial member of our association.
Yes, probably.
Well done.
Yeah. So that was awesome. And there was a lot of support behind it, and I was not fired, Yeah. Megan was
how would do employers, and many of them are watching here, create a culture where their digital department, their social media manager feels empowered to take some chances? Mm-hmm. And in your case, it's worked out well, but I'm sure you could see how this could backfire very quickly, and some brands may not be so comfortable with that. So what advice would you give brands who are thinking about, maybe we need to have, add a more authentic voice to our brand, but they want to be there, maybe they need to be more measured and safe about it?
Well, I think honestly, no risk, no reward. You're going to make mistakes no matter what. So may as well just like go all in. Yeah.
I mean, how horrible, how big is the risk here in reality? What's something that's really, what could really go wrong? What has gone wrong?
If there's something that's like a healthcare company, if it's something like you have to tiptoe around if there could be a lawsuit or of something you said. Like you say, it's okay to drink bleach. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's limits to like what you can.
Sure.
you can do, but like working within those, having trust, having faith, having a good social media or digital director that you trust their compass, right? You trust their limits. You know they're not going to say like, go drink bleach, and that's really what it is. Empowering your creative folks. I think a lot of times, like you'll reach out to an organization about creative stuff, and you're ending up talking to a manager or somebody who has no idea, who's never edited a video, who's never written a copy or a social post, who's never done that work, and you're talking to them, and they don't want you to talk to the people who are actually making it, right?
Yeah.
Like these structures are like so layered, and that's very, very disempowering to creative people, like, or to the people who are making the work. Like I've been at the bottom of that, you know what I mean? Like that feeling. And so I think the more you boost up that energy of the people who are making the work.
She may have frozen.
Oh, did I lose you?
No, you're back. You're back. The more you boost up that energy of people making the work. And she froze again. We were doing so well. There you back.
I know. I'm here.
Yeah, you were right. There we go. You're back. Okay, good. So you were the part that I lost was beyond the more you boost up the people who are creating the work. Oh no.
Which might remain a secret.
which may remain a secret. Well, while we wait for Pearl's connection to stabilize, if any of you who have questions want to submit them, we're going to start to review them and send them her way. So feel free to pose some questions.
I'm going to try to. I'm gonna try to connect with a MiFi. I don't know if it's my connection. If it is, I'm just turning on the MiFi.
Okay, we can give you a second. We're hardwired on our end, so I think we're safe.
Okay.
Although so far so good here.
Good.
Here we have a
question. I love it.
We have, so Jennifer Garcia, hello Jen, or Jennifer if you prefer. She's wondering if you developed any official guidelines to other writers or posters to follow. So first,
no.
Is there any, who specifically, like, is it just you and Megan who post and that's it?
That's right.
That's it.
That's it.
And so do you guys have I mean, this sort of gets to what I was talking before about a brand voice, and I mean, how do you, day to day, is there a strategy? Does it sound sort of like you're saying you just run with it?
Yeah, I mean, we're doing a lot of writing, like for Gov Murphy specifically. It probably takes up a lot of our time because we have a lot of announcements, a lot of press conferences. We're doing all live streams. We're doing all the posts. For the coronavirus, we're kind of helping make these, the graphics and the words and the hand washing video that you might have seen. That was like Megan in the bathroom with an iPhone, and like me editing that in 15 minutes. So it's like we're kind of all over the place. We have like we're just, and the guiding light, the guidance, we don't have a writing guidance, but we just do have the philosophy of two voices, right? You have the voice of Gov Murphy and the voice of New Jersey. And
you share that account with him? Like, does he post on himself as well?
I mean, I don't want to reveal too many secrets of the trade, but no, he does not post on that account, but he does approve everything that goes out on it.
And how do you, since speed obviously is important there, how do you make sure, like, how fast can you get a turnaround from him? Do you text him something and he writes back and done?
He's incredible. Like he'll be the first to admit that he's not like a big social media guy, but he is checking emails like every 5 minutes. You can
is there even a Twitter app for the BlackBerry? Doesn't he still use the BlackBerry?
Yeah, I believe he still uses the BlackBerry. And no, I don't think there is a Twitter app. That's funny you would say for the BlackBerry anymore. But yeah, he's super fast. And so, you could email him and in 5 minutes, you'll get the answer back for approvals, unless he's in the middle of something.
There are a lot of people who look at social media and think about growth hacking and tag 1,000 people and use all these tools. We just had a question come in about, this person's asking, how do you advertise your Twitter account for people to know about it so they can follow you, which I think is basically a question, how do you create awareness? I don't think you guys do any paid ads.
I mean, yeah, the thing with government is, you know, first of all, you understand the lack of budget. There's no budget in it. So there's no advertising. There is organic growth. So that's how we've grown it, is just through organic growth.
And, you know, when you post something, are you thinking about who are the 17 people I should go tag in this that might be relevant, and what hashtags are popular? Is there that kind of digital? I mean, that's a very popular line of thinking in the digital marketing world. Everybody has their own philosophy on that. Like, I'm allergic to hashtags generally, like a lot of hashtags, and I'm allergic to tagging too many people. I like to keep it really simple, really clean, and I find that that people love that. I think we get more engagement on the very clean posts. Like, you know, hashtags can cloud it. I'm just looking from a visual standpoint. Like, when you're making a graphic, you don't want to like make it too crowded. Sure. You know, so you're looking at just that one post as your ad, as your graphic. My suggestion always is make it clean. Do you tell people use images, use videos, use GIFs? Like, what are your top recommendations to getting engagement and awareness? I mean, I think always knowing there's a fine line between relevant and corny. You know, you don't want to overuse anything. Yeah. And I think that everything just has to be organic to what the message you're trying to get out. There's no hard, fast rule. I think just keeping it real has to be the hard, fast rule. And as I told you, for NJGov, we don't do planned posts. We don't do you don't use Buffer, you don't use Hootsuite, none of those tools? We don't use any of those tools. We don't use any analytics tools. Everything is by hand. And, you know, I mean, we are working on the weekend. We're working at night, but it's passion. I mean, we don't get overtime for government, but it's passion. It's passion for what we do, and it kind of keeps us going. Yeah. You know, is NJGov or is the government on TikTok? That's funny you should ask. I just created NJGov TikTok. Yeah. We do not have any posts yet. What are you thinking? What's going to be the first post? Guys, this is totally privileged information here, but really thinking about something with Gov, like something funny with Gov. Get him to do a dance or one of the things. Maybe catch him after an event and try to do something fun. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Maybe a challenge to residents to do, like, there. You know, he does have a bunch of celebrity friends, and we have a bunch of residents who exactly on the train. Maybe we'll get Bon Jovi involved, but we're not. We may be the first, I think, politician to have a TikTok. Are you guys that goes like rock stars among the other states? Are people reaching out to you like, how do we get this to happen in West Virginia? Not really. Is there even communication among the states? There's a conference called GSM Con. Have you heard of it? Government State Social Media Conference. I never miss it. It's in a couple weeks in Seattle. We were planning on going and speaking, but I think it's probably been canceled. Yeah. But that would have been our opportunity to meet people for the first time. Yeah. Sign autographs and things. Yeah, but yeah, it's kind of a separate world. Like, we're not super connected to people who are doing other states. No. Yeah. So for people who, you know, there are a lot of companies that use Buffer. They load up their Buffer, you know, their social handles with tons of pre-populated suggested content. It has pre-populated suggested handles or hashtags. Is your advice to those people to skip all that stuff? Instead, you know, be authentic, have a real voice, maybe less volume, but more authenticity? You know what you need for your client, right? I mean, I'm sure that some people need to have that buffer, need to get certain messages out at certain times. So that's like a whole other universe. But if you can afford to be spontaneous, sometimes I would always say do it, because your audience is super savvy now. Like, it just doesn't matter what generation they're from. I mean, people are really savvy now on social, and they can tell, like, the you know, I don't know, tell the honey from the bull, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, people know what's up. Yeah. We have another question from Jennifer, which is, obviously you're passionate about this. How would you inspire passion in social media for B2B firms where the topics could be less interesting? But I would add that I think that government could be like the least interesting thing on the planet.
Government is
Although,
the least, yes.
But New Jersey as a topic has a lot of interesting things, and you can really, lean in that direction. How could B2B companies, they're talking about, IT infrastructure might be the industry.
Yeah. No, listen, my two first jobs were B2B companies, commercial real estate and facility management and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's super boring, but like you almost have more leeway to like go crazy because everybody in B2B firms has inside jokes. Like there's like a whole like inside world of like facilities managers or risk managers or whoever you're talking about. And they have this whole inside, they have their own language. They have their own knowledge of people. They have their own humor. And like, that's actually something that can be like mined,
Yeah.
and made into like a personality. Because you could be, as a B2B person, you're like you're in that zone and you get what they're saying. You get that language. So
I mean, how much do you think humor should be part of everyone's social media presence?
I mean, unless some circumstances, yeah. I mean, I think humor is what it is it.
Yeah.
That's an amazing communication tool, an amazing unifier of people.
Just of human to human kind of connection.
Yeah.
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 What's a post that you almost hit post on that you decided this is a bad idea?
Yikes. Man, I mean, I don't know that we've not hit post on stuff.
Wow.
I mean, we've called out all the states that we wanted to. We punk on Delaware all the time. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're the pizza capital of the universe and the bagel capital of the universe. And we have better cheesesteaks than Philadelphia. And we believe in Central Jersey and everything else that's like, kind of like, how dare you can't declare that, whatever. Like we've done it and we'll continue to do it because we know, and we have that Jersey energy. And I think that there's nothing that we wouldn't post unless it's really derogatory.
Yeah, that was my next question. What's the line that you think we're just not going to go there? We're not going to make fun of something. Like, would you make fun of the coronavirus or the Me Too movement or any very hot button issues? Would you do those kinds of things?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Yes, there is a time because I got a photograph. Somebody sent me a photograph of the governor and somebody greeting with their elbows, like this. And
the elbow bump.
Like we were like, let's make a meme like the COVID-19 handshake. And then we're like,
out yet? Did you post that yet? I didn't see that.
No, I'm not going to post it.
Oh, you're not? You think that's too much?
So that's one of those. Yeah, I think that's too much, and I'm not going to post that.
Yeah. A little insensitive.
That's like a kind of like, yeah, that's a line.
Got it. Interesting.
That's a line, and it's a tough one. That's a tough one, but it's a line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can't make fun of this. This one. This is some serious. And we're like knee deep in this right now, coronavirus, since we have a couple cases in New Jersey. So we're taking it dead serious right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for people who are potentially managing their social media accounts inside their organizations, if building trust with their managers is so critical, how can they do that effectively? How did you build trust with the governor and the office to say, let us run wild. We got this. You can trust us.
You got to take care of the baser things that are expected of you, the most basic things, and show that you not only are competent in it, but like you can grow it. And then in that growth, I mean, we're talking about just the basics of starting an account, of posting, the things that are happening during the day, that just doing like what you have to do, doing that job.
Yeah.
That they understand that they want. And then you building on top of it. But
not being like, for instance, in your case, maybe your first couple of months, you weren't using a lot of snarky tweets. You weren't replying in the same way.
You can't go in and be like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm going to do this. Because that's how you A, get fired, or B, get hated, or C, just get squashed down.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I think for me and my philosophy of how that, at least this is shaken out. It's, I'm going to come in, I'm going to do everything that I am supposed to do. I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do that. And we're going to do both at the same time. And we're just going to keep going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, makes sense.
You can't scare your people. You can't scare the people you work for. Like, it doesn't work well generally.
If you weren't worried about your job though, would you have done it the exact same way? Would you have, do you think that cadence of build trust also with the following, show an authentic voice and relevancy, and then start to tease in personality? Or you think if you literally had no concern about, might this get me fired, would you have done it any differently?
It had to be done this way.
Yeah.
And as mean as I can be as New Jersey, I'm really a little bit too fucking nice. And like, I want to do the best work that I can to make like people happy and to make things go, you know what I mean? And then I want to fuck shit up. You know what I mean? I want to go down those two lanes simultaneously.
What's outside of a follower count, based on that last remark, what really is what makes you proud about this role? What do you measure success by? I measure success by like right now it's just by the followers, by like New Jersey it's a really discerning group. We're all New Jerseyans. It's a very diverse, discerning, dense, intense group. And to have New Jerseyans behind you on something, and to have it's like bipartisan. There's like Republicans love it, Democrats love it, anarchists love it. Like, it's like something that has a power that transcends politics, and that transcends partisanship, and is really I love that, because I feel like we are the most divided now than we've ever been in our society. Yeah. And so to make something that brings people together, even if it's a little tribalistic, right? New Jersey, being like the New Jerseyan idea is a little tribalistic, but it still brings together such disparate parts of the population. I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of that. We really appreciate you spending time with us. I think you're doing a great job there. At the council, we've often talked about how we get lost as a state in the shadow of New York or in Philly in the pass-through issue, and all the things you now joke about in social. It's one of the things we're looking to change the narrative around for the tech community. And so I was very excited to see what you guys are doing with the social handle, the voice that you have for the state. We got your back as well, and hopefully see a lot more of the tech council events.
Great. We'll be there, and I'm open to any questions or collaboration ideas. I'm open to any questions or collaboration ideas. So thank you. Yeah,
well, we really appreciate it. We had solid audience today. We'll be doing more of these webinars, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again very soon.
Yes.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.